Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna be reacting to.
The craziest Euro match ever played.
The Euros is one of the most prestigious tournaments in world football, with Europe's best
Do
teams
you know
all
what
going
it
at it for
is?
the chance.
What, Euros?
Yeah, no, what
Oh, the
what is an
match?
example of a
Uh,
crazy match?
I believe
Matchup.
this is gonna be a Serbia versus Albania.
Of silverware.
Mm.
How can we forget moments like Ronaldo lifting Portugal's first ever trophy in 2016, Denmark shocking the world and winning
Wow.
it in 1992, and Italy's intense win against England in that immaculate penalty shootout? Although you hear many stories and coverage about the main knockout tournament, sometimes the qualifiers get overlooked, and they could be just as interesting as the main tournament. And today, we will look at the match that happened in Euro 2016 qualifying, where two countries with a troubled history were placed in the same group.
Oh,
Group
I
I
thought
had seen
that's not possible. But if it happens,
So when we did that reaction,
yeah.
this wasn't one of them.
No.
Yeah, so this is allowed to happen, yeah.
Oh.
Albania and Serbia play against.
Because I guess the logic is they both recognize each other as a country.
Okay.
The issue with the other countries where they couldn't play
Mhm,
each other was that
mhm.
one country does not recognize the other.
Mm.
Here, both countries are not nationally, globally recognized, and they recognize each other.
Mm.
So there's no reason they shouldn't play aside from, well, I guess they don't like each other.
Each other.
Ooh.
But before we go into the match, let's go over a very brief history on why these two nations aren't really that friendly. Well, these
Yeah.
nations' histories both span centuries, and there are many things that happened over many years that can indicate the tensions between the two. But let's look at the two things that have happened recently. Well, recently in the grand scheme of things. The Kosovo War is the main thing that we are going to focus on. Kosovo is a nation, well, according to over 100 countries, that is in Eastern Europe, and in 2008 they declared their independence over Serbia. However, till this day, Serbia refutes the independence claims and says that Kosovo is still a part of Serbia. In 1998 would mark the start of the Kosovo War. The largest ethnic group in Kosovo is Albanians, and without getting too deep into it, over 13,000 civilians and fighters would pass away due to the war, and more than 1 million people had been displaced due to it. The Kosovo War would end 1 year later with NATO intervention, when NATO would start a bombing campaign in Yugoslavia because they wanted to stop the ethnic cleansing of Albanians. The war would result in a NATO victory, and to this day, there has been bad blood between the two nations, even bleeding into sport, where a controversial moment would come up when Xhaka and Shaqiri would celebrate in their 2018 World Cup match against Serbia by doing an eagle salute, which is a reference to the Albanian flag, as well as wearing boots that had the Kosovo flag on it. Switzerland would go on and win that match 2-1, and Serbia had filed a complaint to FIFA about it. Now,
Oh.
before I go on, I'm not saying who was right
What's
and
the
wrong.
complaint? Oh, you're taunting us. or
Offensive, yeah, probably
offensive.
it was offensive
Is
gesture.
is that the valid what do you call that?
I don't
The
know.
valid complaint?
We would have to look it up and see what FIFA decided. I have no idea.
Situation. I'm simply telling you the events that happened. But let's flash back to the Euro 2016 qualifiers. Albania would start off their qualifying campaign with a solid
You
win
know,
over
that's
Turkey.
the wild thing. They can be playing for Switzerland, but their heart is their home country.
Away from home. The second game would be played against Denmark, where the points would be shared 1-1. In Serbia, they hadn't been that bad either. They'd only played one match, but they played against Armenia, and they would get another point, 1-1. This meant that it was time for Serbia to host Albania in Belgrade on the 14th of October in 2014. Before the match, there were tons of riot police stationed there, and the stadium had an electric atmosphere,
Really?
with many Serbians cheering,
Oh.
whistling, and having flares. The match would begin, and it would be a rough one, but nothing wrong would happen until the 41st minute where flares had been thrown onto the pitch. This had suspended the match. And in the
What is the
distance, a
pitch?
drone would come down
Pitch the grass.
Oh.
carrying something, a flag, and no one could tell what it was for the first couple of seconds, until the drone would come to a full stop and the people had seen that the flag was carrying a picture of Greater Albania, which is a nationalistic concept
Oh.
that seeks to unify what many Albanians consider their
Wow.
national homeland. Along with
that's-
this, it
that's
had the
pretty
Albanian
bad.
Declaration of Independence signature date, which was November 28, 1912, and it also had two pictures of Albania's founding fathers. The drone's flag would be caught by Serbian defender Stefan Mitrovic. Seeing this, Andy Lila and Talent Xhaka, who is the older brother of Granit Xhaka, would run towards Mitrovic to retrieve the flag. And this is when all hell broke loose. Following a tiny scuffle between the players, an Albanian player had ended up getting the flag back, and he would try to run off the pitch with it, until a Serbian fan had gone onto the pitch and hit him in the head with a plastic stool. That is when
Whoa.
Albanian captain
How?
Lorik
How?
Hana would
How?
take down the fan and start punching him. This is
Oh,
when a
oh.
full-on fight would start, where
Wow,
both
wow,
teams'
wow,
benches would
wow,
be
wow,
cleared,
wow.
pitch stewards and
Ooh.
other staff
Wow,
members would
wow,
run onto
wow,
the
wow.
field.
There's so
More
many.
Serbian supporters would make their way onto the pitch. However, the Serbian squad was able to calm them down just a bit and stop from more random people getting onto the pitch. Now the match had been abandoned by the referee, and he told both teams to go back to their locker rooms. And on the way to
So,
the locker
what
room, the
no.
fans would throw many things at the Albanian side. And one
Oh my
supporter was even able
gosh.
to go and
Oh my
attack the team on the way
gosh.
to the locker room.
I
Finally,
never seen
both
these tunnels before. Like they create like a little tunnel to protect them from
Apparently,
objects
yeah.
being thrown at them. I never seen that before. Wow.
teams were able to
Wow.
get off the pitch, and thankfully no one would sustain any serious
So they don't
injuries.
play
But the
again
madness
after
wouldn't
this?
end there. The Serbian police would search everyone's bag to find a remote for the drone, but they couldn't
Oh.
find anything. And at first, UEFA's ruling would be that Serbia would be deducted 3 points
Wow.
and they
How
had
long-
won the
how
match
long-
3-0.
Oh,
And Albania
wow.
would be the side.
Wow. How long did it take for them
Serbia
to
get a
search it?
3-win based on 4. But why? Hold up.
Because they couldn't find it.
Okay, so what does have to? Why does Albania get to lose the match? Because Albania, I guess Albania's flag was in there, so they're assuming it's Albanians did it.
Yeah.
But what if it's low-key
That's what I
Serbians
was,
doing it?
that's what I was
Serbia was
thinking the whole
winning.
time because it
That's
seemed like
not-
propaganda a little bit too.
It was propaganda.
Wait, go back. What did he say?
I'm confused. Go
So
back.
play-
Wait, hold
so
up. Hold
play-
up.
That Serbia would be deducted 3 points and they had won the match 3-0. And Albania would be the side to forfeit the match. That ruling
Wait,
didn't go
Serbia
over
is
well on both
deducted
sides.
3
And they would-
points
I don't
and
under-
they won the
Yeah,
match.
because so if they won the match,
So
they
this
should
is-
get
yeah,
3
3
points, not get
points.
deducted 3 points.
Something is wrong here.
I'm so confused.
would appeal to UEFA, but they would be rejected. And still, both FAs weren't satisfied, and they went to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, and their siding would be with Albania. They would reverse the 3-0 loss, giving Albania the win, and kept the 3 points deducted for Serbia. However, for them, FIFA wouldn't ban the return fixture, and it would be played out in Albania, where the Serbians would win 2-0. To this day, they are still allowed to play against each other. So now, you might be asking, what did this mean for the qualifying group? Well, because of this decision, Serbia had basically no chance of qualifying from the jump, and they would finish 4th in the group with 4 points. And Albania would qualify for a major competition for the first time in their history, and they would make their debut at the Euros. They had been placed in a
Wow.
group with France, Switzerland, and Romania. Unfortunately for them, they would lose to both France and Switzerland, but they would get a win over Romania, and they would be knocked out in the tournament in the group stage. Both Albania and Serbia have qualified for Euro 2024 and are in different seeding pots, so maybe we will see them face each other very soon. But honestly, my take on the situation is that I feel bad for the Serbian players, as they didn't ask for this to happen, and their morale was probably hurt a lot after getting 3 points deducted and Albania being awarded the match 3-0. So maybe a replay in a
Yeah, I think they should have done a replay. Not nobody deserves the points awarded. Nobody deserves the points
Because they can't
deducted.
confirm.
Yeah, if you don't know
Who-
who started
who
it, you
started
can't you
it.
can't hold neither party accountable. That's
Yeah.
not fair either
That's
way.
an interesting call they made.
Yeah, it should have been a replay and like as he said, no, like a COVID time replay. Just empty stadium, nobody's there, just replay the straight up football. That's it. No play.
That cost them money to do that.
Well, they make money off the tickets, so figure it out. You know, this doesn't happen all the time. So you can afford to lose a couple euros of the tickets or whatever the currency is there.
You never
Yeah,
heard of this?
No, but
Ah.
this is the way it was handled was fucked up. Neither country should have
Wow.
gotten the points deducted, nor should have gotten the victory.
Even me, I can see that. Like, wow,
Yeah,
that's
this
crazy.
this is fucked up. Yeah, I don't like it.
neutral location could have been the right thing to do. So, what do you guys think of this match? Was
Can I see
Serbia's
the
punishment just?
comments?
Should both of these countries not be allowed to play against each other?
They should play against each
Do
other.
people
you
want
know.
to see them play against each other again?
I'm sure the fans would love it. They should play against. Why not? Let them fight. Bring some boxing gloves. Fuck it.
They kind of did give a show. Like, you saw a whole
was
boxing
entertaining.
match.
Yeah, it
Yes,
was
and then people
entertainment.
got into the field.
Yeah, people got their money's
Yeah,
worth.
yeah.
Most normal game in the Balkans.
Oh, really?
Calmest match played in the Balkans be like
Wow.
World War One, a wrong turn. World War Two, a rejection from our school. World War Three, a drone with an Albanian flag.
True.
Imagine if only Balkan teams reach the end of tournament and Serbia versus Albania is the final.
Why was World War One a wrong turn? I don't understand this one.
Honestly, I don't remember why World War
Oh.
One started. Wasn't somebody assassinated?
Wrong
That's what
turn.
started World War One. I feel like somebody was assassinated.
Okay. Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And zoys. Share as much kindness as possible. Bye, guys.